What's going on, everybody? It's by Polar Bear. Thank you all so much for checking out another video. And what I got for you today, the best perks to run in Plunder / Blood Money, whichever version of the mode comes back tomorrow. So, if you want to rank up quickly in Plunder, I'm going to leave a video down in the description that I did a couple of months ago, and I'm also going to put it in the community channel part thing as well. So if you want to rank up quick, I'm going to leave that link down in the description and you can go check that out. And who's excited for Plunder tomorrow, man? I honestly cannot wait. I can't wait to start making fresh Plunder content. And yeah, man, it's going to be sick. And I've also got a stream going live tomorrow night at 8 PM UK time. So without further ado, let's get on into this. So the best perks to run for Plunder and Blood Money when it comes back. So we're kind of going to go over all the perks, and you know, we're kind of going to just judge them and assess them, and we're kind of going to use my personal experience for what is definitely best to use. Now in perk 1, you've got the double time, which basically it just doubles the duration of your tactical sprint and it increases your crouch movement by 30%. I never ever use this in Plunder. I know it sounds like it could be good, and you know, in certain specific situations it could be really useful, but that's not the way that you should take with this. I have two classes for a game of Plunder. I've got my first half and I got my second half class. In the first half class, I always take EOD, right? Take EOD, because the amount of arseholes that want to blow you up with RPGs is fucking ridiculous. All right, you don't want to be eating no Jaffa Cakes of Doom. For anybody who's new, that's C4. You don't want to be getting, you don't want to be getting twatted by the dildo cannon, an RPG. If you're new, you'll get used to all this. You know what I mean? You just don't want it. So therefore, take EOD. But when the attack choppers start coming in, you've got to switch that up to cold-blooded, man. And you've got to do it as quickly as you possibly can. Now, to switch classes, obviously, you do need to die, which is always going to be an arse-ache. But if you kind of sink to a point where you make a mistake somewhere in the game, you die, you send back to respawn, just switch it over to the cold-blooded then. Because when them attack helicopters go up, they don't fuck about, man. They will push your shit in, and they will push your shit in quick. And you will lose so much money towards the end of the game, where it's far more important to not die than what you would do at the start of the game. So yeah, damn, no, just definitely switch it over. Take cold-blooded for the second part of the game, and that is very useful. Now obviously you could look at Scavenger and say, oh, you know, Scavenger could be useful. Nah, there's ammo lying around everywhere, and it's just something that you don't need. In quick fix, you know, killing players, capturing, holding objectives, and it'll increase your health recharge rate. You don't really get into that kind of action in Plunder that it honestly is worth taking. When it comes to perk 1, you've got two choices. You've got EOD, you've got cold-blooded. Start off with the EOD, dude, and then as soon as you get a chance, switch over to cold-blooded. And that way, it's going to save you from annoying explosives. Then it's going to annoy you from them annoying helicopters as well. And dude, like I said, them helicopters, they have so much cool shit in them. You've got to shoot them out. You've got to get the money crates. You know, that's really going to help you win the game. So if you're the only one on your team without cold-blooded on, you're going to be unpopular. Alright, so let's get on to perk 2. So we got restock, recharge equipment over 30 seconds. It's decent. Like, no lie, it's decent. You already know where perk 2 is going to go. But it's alright, you know what I mean? It's not the perk to run, but it's decent. Hardline is obviously useless in Blood Money. High alert, your vision pulses enemies outside your view see you. Hang on, I did that wrong. Your vision pulses enemies outside of your view when they see you. Basically what happens is, it kind of gives you like a yellow indicator on the side of your screen. Nothing pops up in the minimap or anything like that. It's not like acoustic sensor from Black Ops 4. And I don't like it so much, because if it was done over a much like a wider distance or a higher distance and stuff like that, if you're trying to get your money onto the helicopter and stuff, it could be useful then. But again, for how situational this thing is, it is honestly just pointless. I wouldn't bother running it. Kill chain is just to do with kill streaks, so that's completely pointless as well. Point man turns kill streaks into score streaks. So basically, if you're not running ghosts in Plunder, there's something wrong with you. And I know UAV spam isn't that likely, because let's face it, it's not. But still, just take ghosts, man. Your chances are it's going to save your ass. High alert, chances are it's not going to do that, and you kind of got to weigh up them two odds. Honestly, the perk 2 slot in Plunder is the most useless one, but I'd definitely take Ghost. Ghost, more likely than not, Ghost is going to save your ass more than any of them other perks in the perk 2 slot. And then we go to perk 3. So, you know what, you've actually got a decent amount of choices here. So you got your tune-up, which reduces the charge time for field orders by 33%. If you're running stopping power, if you're running dead silence, both of them are extremely useful in Blood Money. Obviously, dead silence more than stopping power. Stopping power, in my opinion. God, Rob, get that dick out your mouth, man. What's wrong with you? We've got amped, which is your faster weapon swap and rocket launcher reload speed. Again, you know, I've been, and before the patch and Plunder got removed, I was finding I was using that more because I was using the Vector. And like, I didn't have it ranked up past the 45 round mag, and I was just using the first 25 mags to just rip through armor and just get them into a down state, switch to my Renetti or my Deagle, and then just finishing them off. So it does come in handy, especially if more people are going to start chasing you down. But I wouldn't, you know what I mean, unless you're using the Vector and it's like in its first phase, as I'm going to call it, you probably ain't really going to find a great deal of use for that. Rocket launchers are cool. But, you know, like, unless you're shooting the helicopter, generally every vehicle in Plunder blows up with one rocket hit or one decent C4 placement. So, nah, I'd give Amp to miss. But if you get out of them two, I'd definitely go with tune-up. But then you got Shrapnel Spawn with an extra piece of lethal equipment. Yeah, dude, that's good. Having 2 C4s in your back pocket instead of 1, definitely something that helps. Battle-Hardened, reduced strength of enemy flash, stun, and EMP effects. Now, again, it's all down situational, really. It's very rare in Plunder I kind of found myself there thinking, oh, you know, I just got flanked, oh, I just got stunned and whatnot. Obviously, there's a lot of EMP drones going on. Like, generally, people find them in the crates and whatnot. They can be a little bit annoying, but not enough to run a whole perk. All right, because I've got my favorite perk and my main perk that I like to run. But we'll get into that in a minute. Then you got Spotter, see enemy equipment, field upgrades, and kill streaks through walls, and you can mark them for your team, looking at them whilst aiming down sight. Again, obviously, it's all going to be basically just going to be claymores and bouncing betties in this mode more than anything else, and it's not something that is useful enough. You know what I mean? Like, if you were using this all the time, like, don't get me wrong, in general multiplayer, it's a good perk, you know, being able to see, like, how many claymores and how many bouncing betties are lying around the place. But in Plunder, I just don't really run into that as much. I think C4s are far more useful than claymores and bouncing betties, and generally you kind of have that approach as well. It's very rare that I get killed by a bouncing betty, you know, like, you'll go 10, 12 games without even seeing one, and then you'll probably encounter 2 in the same game, and then you won't see them again for a long time. So I don't think Spotter is honestly worth it in comparison to the best perk in tier 3, but unfortunately it can be countered with the best tier 1 perk, which is Tracker. Enemies leave behind a footprint trail, and dude, it's awesome. It's fantastic. The amount of times I've relied on Tracker to kind of get me out of a situation where someone's kind of got shots on me, you turn around, you start getting shots on them, and they just kind of bail, and they get out the way, and you just kind of go looking for them, you want to get the jump on them, you want to know where they are, and Tracker just takes them straight back to where they're hiding away in a corner, or like in a wardrobe or something like that. They've gone out a window and kind of gone running around the building, you kind of go meet them the other way head on. Yeah, man, it's really, really good, and Tracker is, for me, it is the perk to run in tier 3. So they are my main perks that I'd like to run. So let's kind of have a bit of a recap. Perk 1, first part of the game, definitely want to be running EOD, dude. Like I said, the amount of claymores, the amount of C4s, the amount of rocket launchers and everything that's going on in the first part of Blood Money. Take EOD, it's going to save you a lot of deaths, it's going to save you a lot of frustrations. But then if something does happen to you, if you're about halfway through the game, switch to cold-blooded. Them attack helicopters, they are no fucking joke, and they will push your shit in, and they will push your shit in quick. Perk 2, High Alert doesn't really have the range enough for me to be all that viable in comparison to Ghost. I know UAVs aren't overly called in Blood Money, but they are still somewhat called in. Not overly frequently, but if High Alert had more use to it and had more range on it, I'd say go High Alert and just say don't even worry about the UAVs, because I don't really think that they matter too much. But out of the two, you're generally going to get more value out of Ghost than what you're going to get out of High Alert. And in Perk 3, without a single shadow of a doubt, Tracker is the perk to run, dude. I absolutely love that perk. It is the best perk in tier 3 for me. And yeah, man, it's a really, really good thing to run. So that's all we got for you today. If you just want to see more, you know what 2 buttons to press by now. Live stream going up tomorrow, 8 PM UK time. I'm going to have a channel update going live about Plunder tomorrow at some point, amongst a couple of other videos that I've got lined up to go as well. So yeah, man, good times. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, and hopefully I'll see you down in that live stream.